Okay, hello. Hopefully everyone's having a good morning. Hopefully tech stuff is okay this time, as something usually happens on Sundays. Oh. Hello. Oof. Sorry if I'm out of breath. Had to run up and close all the doors. Yeah. All right, just to get everything out of the way. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be drawing the Forgers from the anime Spy X Family. Don't need to have watched it to follow along. In case you didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we art nerds have to stick together. If you're an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links in our social media in the description below, and check out our website for our class offerings where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors. Because we're not just a YouTube channel, we're an art school too. If you'd like to support us so we can keep making free content, consider supporting us by becoming a YouTube member for exclusive channel perks like emotes, sub badges, or supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 per month, where you can get access to tons of perks like my working files, critique sessions, class recordings, and a huge discount on our classes that have a limited amount of spots. So be sure to check those out before they're gone. Okay. One of these days, I will be able to say that in one breath without choking. Okay, so I'll just get right into it, I guess. Thank you, Panda Fluffiness. It is one of my favorite music playlists. Alright, so we will try to get through all three of the Forgers. Don't know if we will. We'll try our best. We'll see how it goes. I thought I would start with Loid. Is that how you pronounce his name? Because I think he's probably going to be the hardest, personally for me. And then we'll go probably from Loid, and then what's her name? Yor. Oh my gosh. How could I forget? And then Anya. So with Loid, I'm probably just gonna start with a circle, as I start with everything. This is a circle. However it looks. Feel free to follow along. But no pressure, obviously. Hopefully it will be somewhat easy to follow. Usually the way I like to draw, this is gonna be the head for the circle. Usually I'll just do a little slice here to the sphere. And I'm this isn't I'm not drawing, I guess, a smaller circle inside a little, a little circle in a bigger circle. When I draw this, I'm trying to sort of imagine I took a cleaver and just sliced off a piece of their head. Does this bring to mind anything? Because this part is basically a sort of flat area. I'll try to speed this somewhat along so it's not just me talking about technical jargon for 30 minutes, but usually the main concept is that it's kind of flat. There's a reason for it I'll get into later. And then usually he's gonna be looking this way, sort of. Of course, it is a 3/4 view, so naturally it's just we'll just be looking in this direction. So usually I'll just try and make this sort of cross shape in the direction the character is looking, things like that. Apologies if this is going a little fast. Feel free to say something if it is. And And then usually, because his face is like a bit longer than like yours, I do like want to add like sort of longish sort of thing. Because yours I feel like is just kind of like a lot cuter, sort of like that. So just having a little bit more of a straightness to it, I feel like gives it a little bit, makes it look a little bit more masculine. And then usually I'll just draw the jaw back until it reaches like sort of in this sort of area here. I feel like explaining my process is actually pretty difficult because personally, I don't really think a lot when I'm drawing. So actually having to think about it is a bit interesting for me. From like this little middle area here, this middle line, I will generally just draw like the nose. He has a pretty like long nose, so you know, I just kind of draw something like that. Because it's like this view is sort of like he is kind of looking down, so we are kind of seeing him from the top. The nose is a little bit like, instead of just like that, it's sort of like more like conal, sort of. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Oh, is the music loud? Let me like turn it down a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And then usually what I like to do here. So the eyes, he has really interesting, like really sharp eyes. Usually my sketch is pretty like messy, to be honest, so I'm not particularly like trying to make it look really pretty at the moment, since this is all just for guidelines and stuff. His eyes are like, you know, pretty thin and like very like, it's like, you know, it's like that kind of anime eye where you, like, to like, you know, indicate that the person is really cool and mysterious, stoic even, something like that. So because this eye is like turned away, it's smaller, it's kind of like more squished, like so. While the other eye is a little bit easier because it looks, I guess, more normal length. Is it still too loud? Is the music maybe a little bit softer? Let me know if that, like, if that helps at all. Hopefully my adjustments are actually doing something. He actually has like lidded eyes, so okay, that's good. So I'm gonna add those in as well. We can always correct all this kind of stuff later, so there's no, like, you know, no pressure really. And his eyebrows are really long and thin. They follow along the eye, generally. So thank you, Art Duck. Usually this part is also like the part I always forget, because like the brow has like a sort of protrusion, like this little bump here that I think really helps add like realism to your art, but I always forget to add it, so yeah. Little tip for you guys. Generally, I also like, this is just a personal failing of mine, but I also tend to like forget to add in the cheek as well to like fluff it out a bit. So I like to add, I usually have to correct that as well when I'm like drawing over, like it's rare that I actually draw something perfect the first time, so I always have to like correct myself and things. His mouth just tends to be like over here, just under the nose area. Just gonna like sort of clean it up a little bit just so I can see. Can always like, you know, endlessly erase and edit things as we see fit. This is just how I like to draw lips, but I like to do like the sort of lip shape. This is, I actually completely forgot what this is called technically, even though like I think I talked about it in a previous week. All I remember is like that, like this thing is called like the Cupid's bow. Some people like to draw it. Sometimes I like to draw it. It just depends, I guess, for the character. Like so. Another tip for you guys, the ear is usually, the top of the ear usually starts like where the eye is like located, like the line. So somewhere like over here. The ear can be a little bit, it can be complex or like simplified as you see fit. Generally, I just like to do like a really simple ear because I think ears are, I don't know, not as tantalizing as other parts of the body, personally. Thank you, Simi. Any tips? Do you want any tips about anything in particular? And then we just add in the neck. You might have to like try, like just trial and error, like where you want to place it. Usually the reason why I draw like this circle first, like this circle, is because the back of it is usually where the neck will connect. Even though the neck is like, seems kind of wide, the spinal cord is really like, it's kind of like something like this, and everything else is just like muscle, right? But that might be a little bit like, it's not too important. Like I feel like I'll try to explain my reasoning, but then like I'll just get really into like the micro details that no one really needs to know about. Because I overthink things, but yeah. As always, feel free to use the lasso tool or the eraser tool to edit things how you see fit. When I'm drawing hair, I usually like to draw the hairline as well. Usually I'll just draw like this very basic hairline. This is just like an indication of where the forehead might end. And then I'll just like loosely try to figure out how like hair works, because hair is like actually the thing I have trouble drawing the most. So I might take a couple of tries. I'm just trying to think of like how his hair might be separated out. He has like these sort of bang things. Like I'm trying to imagine like his head just seems to be like separated into like these sorts of like these bang things, and then like they pull back sort of like in this sort of wig formation like that. But like, you know, we'll see how this goes. Maybe it'll look a little bit more cleaner once I get to like lining. I feel like maybe his might have made his features too long. Because he's not like very like sculpted, I feel like, but I tend to just draw people sculpted. Adjustments. His hair. Trying to think of like hair as like layers. His hair's quite short, actually. I feel like I made that way too long. Yeah, something a bit shorter like that, and then his hair is just kind of like, is it an undercut or something at the back? Someone who's like more of a Loid stan, correct me. Which app are you using? I'm using Clip Studio Paint. I actually feel like it's a good idea to keep things a bit more zoomed out, because I feel like when I zoom things in, I tend to mess up the proportions a bit more. Ooh. For his chest, I'm probably only gonna do like shoulders up or something. The neck, in the front at least, if you like kind of put your fingers on like your throat and you feel like the kind of bony area, like the Adam's apple area, I guess. If you just go straight down, you'll have like this little divot on your collarbone, and then there'll be like these, like your actual collarbones that kind of go across your chest and connect to your shoulders. That's usually what I use to like figure out where like the shoulders are. And then, let's see. I think he's wearing a suit. How did you get a vertical character? What do you mean by that? Alright. Good night. Thanks for coming. I think Loid is also wearing a suit. Seems like, so that's also going to be something I will draw. Suits tend to, like, as usual with clothes and things like that, always good to have a reference. I think it's always good to add like edges to your, or form to like even really thin material of your drawing. What I mean by that is like, you know, these little lapels, I think that's what they're called. You're like adding like something like this little line, or just adding like a little curve here of like how it folds, makes like the shape look a little bit better, instead of just like, for example, just like, you know, just like that instead. And then see, he has like this collar thing. I know how suits work, definitely. Like this sort of fold out collar, and then there's like his tie here. And then he has a vest. Thank God I don't actually have to draw like the end of the tie. His suit follows pretty much the line of like the chest, so you don't gotta worry about that too much. And then his. We'll see like how I want to pose the arm a bit later. We'll see. I feel like I kind of want him to be reading something because it just seems a little bit empty, but then I actually don't have to draw it on my arm, haha. And then, let's see. He has to be holding this, like, I don't know, this newspaper up. So, his arm will be sort of pointed. Bent, I should say. We can deal with the hand later. That's good enough for now for a sketch. Like so. Hopefully when I'm like lining this, it will like look a little bit more clear. Spy Family has like a, does it have a manga? Or is it like anime only? Is the manga very ahead the anime? Ooh. How many volumes do you have? Naomi and Mitchell? Ooh. I didn't realize it had like such a long series already. It still feels very new to me, like a new anime. I feel like maybe I am drawing his hair thing, like these things, a little bit too too crazily. I feel like they're not actually that floofy. Maybe gotta tone it down a little bit. You know, he's a bit more subtle than I'm like drawing him, I feel like. I hope the manga lives up to you guys' expectations. Or the anime, I guess. Whoops. I always like to add a little bit of darkness near sort of where the jaw is to the neck. I always think it just looks kind of nicer. I don't know if you guys have heard of like Way of the House Husband. I was really excited for that like anime adaptation, but it just ended up being very like, it was literally like the manga panels just colored, like frozen on the screen, and I wasn't too happy about that. Although I heard that was like how the author wanted it to be adapted, so there is that, I guess. Now it's made me kind of wary of how like things are going to be adapted, because one of my favorite manga, which is Dungeon Mishi, or like Delicious in Dungeon, that's going to be adapted soon, and I really hope they do a good job. It's like, please. I have faith, I guess, but also it's like my favorite, so dear to my heart. Do you prefer manga or anime? That is a difficult question. It depends on how like they animate it, I guess. Some like anime I feel like are, I don't know if you, this might be like a little dated, but you know D Gray Man? I feel like the second one, the second animated version adaptation was real bad, because it was very like, it just, I don't know, it was very like, it just felt really low budget, which makes me really sad because the story is really good, so the manga's definitely better for that. I have heard really good things about things like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, the latest Bleach, like Bleach is coming back, like the latest episodes, like apparently those like really added a lot of extra flair to the anime, so that's always really fun when the anime does something on its own. You should like make the manga like enhanced, right? Like how in Demon Slayer there's just like, there's a lot of like fire and water effects, and then I know like the anime did like an excellent job with that, so like it should be like that, you know, like it's gotta be like, it's gotta be really cool. Whereas something like D Gray Man and with like House Husband, they really just like redrew. They would take like the manga panel and then just copy and paste it with like color onto the screen, and there wasn't really any like anything else to it. I feel like that's kind of unfortunate. But maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm being picky. I know animation's really hard. No problem, Dragon Purple Crystal, thank you for coming anyways. Feel free to ask questions if there's anything you find unclear, and we'll do our best to help explain it. Ooh. Promised Neverland is kind of like a little crazy, isn't it? That one's kind of like, ooh. Story-wise, I mean, like it's a little heavy. Oh, I see. That's usually never fun. I have a friend who is like a really huge fan of like Chainsaw Man, and she told me that the anime made really like terrible choices with certain like the vibe, I guess. Like the animation's really nice, but they definitely aimed it toward like a different audience, so that was like unfortunate for her. She said, I will draw the hand later, it doesn't seem to be working. Somebody remind me so I don't like forget later, just so I can get on with drawing Yor. I think will be a little bit more pleasant. Generally, we'll start the same way. Draw a circle. I feel like Yor is a lot cuter looking, so I don't usually have to plan too much very like typical head shape. Something like that. Maybe pointed chin a little bit more. I know Chainsaw Man, but it doesn't inspire me. Yeah, it's very like, has a specific audience and a specific vibe. Supernatural horror? I'm not really sure what it is. It's the same, I feel like it's the same sort of thing, Dorohedoro? I really liked that one. I'm probably butchering it. For Yor, I feel like I always have an easier time drawing ladies. Her ear could be like over here. I might have to fool around with her neck a little bit more. Even though I draw like all these little guidelines and stuff, sometimes they aren't perfect and I do have to like sort of figure it out as I go along sometimes. If they just don't look right. They're basically just like placeholders for like where to draw the features. Down here is where like her collarbone would be. Stuff like that. Maybe like holding one of her knife things. Goodbye. One of her knife things. She has really big, cute eyes, so hopefully it'll make drawing her face a little bit easier. Ooh, okay, so oh my god. Flipping the canvas. Always pain and suffering. But it helps see like where your bias is. I feel like most people tend to like draw tilted actually. Like I do. And flipping the canvas, even though it like, you know, it really puts the fear of like the Lord in you, is helpful for figuring out what looks lopsided or not. One thing I feel like that might help you guys also is, I think it's really common for people, for like beginners, to draw like sort of in these sort of 3/4 views, sort of draw eyes like exactly like aligned like so. But in this case, because her head is tilted up, her head is kind of like going like that. So her eyes will be like, one will be higher than the other because her face is like turning like that. The same is sort of can be said for like Loid here. So, you know, something to keep an eye out in your own drawings. I like your voice. I find it calming. Thank you, Alex. I hope so. Whoops. Oh my god, you can just see like the line art, like the sketch, and then the line art. Ugh. Whatever, we're here to learn. Oops. Do you guys prefer like manga or anime? Thank you, Simi. Manga for me, yeah. I think I guess personally I really like drawing more so than like animating, ironically. But so I think I really like poring over the like manga pages, and like since they have more detail in them. The anime is always really good for like inspiration. So her head is a little bit. We can get away with drawing her head a little bit smaller than normal because she has like a lot more hair than Loid does. So we can like sort of fluff it out a bit. Like when we're adding her hair, we can kind of push it out. Something like so. And then her bangs and stuff also have like a lot of volume to it. Or so I think. What's your favorite anime manga? My favorite manga at the moment is Witch Hat Atelier. I think it always makes me feel better when like I feel like sad. My favorite anime at the moment, I don't really have one. I haven't actually watched too much. I thought the Dora Hidoro anime was very good. I thought it was a really good adaptation. I know like there's like controversy or whatever about like using 3D, but I think they did an excellent job. I think when Dungeon Meshi comes out, that will probably be my favorite though, just because I love Dungeon Meshi so much. I'm just realizing I didn't even really need to draw her ear because it was gonna get covered by like the roses. Here's her like hair. See, this is what flipping the canvas does for you. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error that goes into drawing. Oh, Hunter x Hunter. That one is also one that I keep looking out for. Is it still... Is it over yet? I know like it was on hiatus for a very long time. Then her other arm. I love like how I keep choosing like really annoying poses to draw. That's just how it be sometimes. I would still consider this sort of like sketchy, so I'm gonna move it to a different layer. Some like final adjustments and stuff. Maybe where her dress is. I don't really know how her dress works, to be honest. Oh, right, Loid's hands. Thanks. Alright, how am I gonna draw this? Something like... something like that. Thank you, Art. To redraw one of these. Like just moving her, just turning her body out a little bit. And then maybe like I should just make her face smaller. It might be her hair. Something like this. I do kind of like that a little bit better. Goodbye, Art Duck. Thanks for coming. Okay. Gotta remember to draw Loid's hands. I think he has gloves, so that also makes things easier for me. Just like that, what is your favorite and worst anime ship? I actually don't ship a lot of things in anime. I ship like things in games these days. I don't know. What do people like these days? I hope that doesn't date me at all. I guess in Dungeon Meshi I do like Marcel and Alan. I think Marcel and Laos is also really funny. Anything else? I'm like, I don't know. What are things? What's the hottest ship these days? Oh, I guess like something a little bit popular is like an eraser mic. I think that one's cute too. I guess Loid and Yor is also really cute. I mean, they're really sweet. Get along well, things like that. Have a family. Worst ship? I'm not sure. Oh gosh, okay. Okay. I think I drew her eye shape not correct. She doesn't look like this cutesy. I feel like I'll have to fix it. Yeah, Loid and Yor are really cute. They're somehow really innocent for what they are. Maybe I'll wait to draw her eyes. I never really got into Attack on Titan as like crazily as people did when it was like super popular. I heard it's gotten a bit weird. roses. A little bit better. I think this looks okay for what we got. Just gotta smooth out some parts. Don't want to spend too long on the liner. Hello, Nicola. Little knife things. It has like this interesting like glove sleeve thing too. Like the drawing from the stream, I don't really mind. You can show us in the Discord if you feel like it later. Alright, your little straps. Something like this, I think. Oh, whoops. Something like this. Oh. The Discord's pretty fun. Although, if you don't have it, it's fine as well. Not necessary. And then she has like these little earrings. Her proportions look kind of funky. But I do feel like I'm spending probably too long trying to figure her out. Good morning. Maybe I'll fix the hand later. We'll just... Anyways, we'll just pretend that it doesn't look weird. Alright, Anya time. I feel like Anya tends to be pretty... She's like almost a chibi, so I think she's generally very simple. Like, she's so cartoonish, you can't, like, I don't really need to think of like realistic guidelines. Her head and her neck and her like body proportions are just really, are very contrasting, so really just gotta think of like maybe her arms, and like you can kind of style them because she has like long sleeves as well. It's very cute. Like, you know, like adult, like I feel like with more realistic anime things, you kind of need to have like this sort of shoulder area, which is like, I believe it's like the deltoids for like, you know, like anatomically correctness. But for Anya, you don't really need that because she's just really, she's like a baby. She's cute. As a result, her features are also like pretty lowered. Like her eyes are pretty big. Hello. Yeah, her eyes are huge. Like she barely has a nose, if at all, sometimes. I do like to add a little bit of like, not quite realism, but like, I guess my own personal, the way I like personally like to draw certain things to it. Although, not necessary. Like her head's pretty Let's see, her like, man, like her face is pretty much like also like the other half of her head. Like her bangs, she has like this little like cute little cowlick thing here, and then her bangs are pretty much like just like that. And she has like those like little hair things, can't you things. Maybe this is a bit too extreme. Like this. think her little collar can also be simplified. And her little bow tie thing. Let's see. Her eyes actually have a very peculiar style as well. Like there's like a really thick outline and then just a very thin one. And then like her eyelashes. I don't know how many. I don't know if I'll include like too many of her eyelashes. As a personal thing. I do like those little ones at the bottom though. Just gotta make sure things look a little proportionate. Here. It's more detailed than I thought it would be. Basically, her hair has like, her bangs have like 3 parts. Like this chunk, and then this chunk, and then this chunk. And the rest of her hair is just from like the top of her head. It's really long chunks that kind of frame everything else. What logic cell do you use? Is Logicel program or tablet? Somebody translate that for me. Apologies, I should know French. I did learn it in school, but I wasn't a very good student. Oh, but if you're from France, then like I think we learned like Quebecois, so maybe we wouldn't be able to communicate after all. Oops. Her dress is pretty iconic as well. It's a very cute design. There's a lot of like cute shapes. And then her hands are really like stubby, so you can really just do like little blobs. All right. Here's the sketch. Start coloring. Let's see if I manage to like finish all of this. Oops. Yeah, everything is hard at the beginning. You'll get the hang of it eventually, especially if you're young. You guys will learn pretty fast. I'm sure in like the next year or two you'll come back to this and be like, dang, like I'm like a dinosaur. Let's see. Skin tones. Good thing with digital is that you can pretty much color pick like whatever skin tones you want from like other images. So accuracy tends to be quite accessible. I do like how it seems like Loid is the most like semi-realistic, and then it gets more and more cartoony as I draw. No, I'm not done. I don't think I will be until I'm gonna try to have some like shading a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Oops. Let's see, Loid's clothes are like green. They're like kind of olive greenish, grayish green. Something like that. Is it a dark color? Go take a look. Oh, it is actually pretty dark. Yeah, I'm using like the lasso tool under like a specific setting, which I can show you guys another time or now if you want. Although, like, truthfully, I was just like, these are tools like Ferran. I'll just type it in. I think this person has this tool in like the Clip Studio Asset Store, so you can go take a look for that. It makes coloring a lot easier, as you can see. Around this stage, like flatting, I guess. Actually, I feel like this is probably the most tedious part of art. And just because like it's very, like I zone out a lot. So I apologize if I start like sort of sounding like a zombie. More so than I usually do anyways. Maybe some. Whoops. Gotta make this a little bit neater. I tend to like to color things in batches. So like one layer will contain like all the clothing base colors or something. Or colors that look similar to each other. Sometimes I'm not as organized as I should be though. And she has like a white headband, I believe. But with golden accents. Thank you, Pilfer Pups. I always get very like nervous about my line work because I don't feel like it's very like it's as nice, as clean as I want. Are Loid's eyes green? Yes. Okay. I think Anya's are also green. Yes, okay. Luckily, Anya can get her own layer for colors. And there's the white. Thank you, Pilfer Pup. That's very reassuring, actually. I feel like line arting is, even though it's like kind of my least favorite part of like, well, actually it's not my least favorite. I feel like it's just the most difficult part for me. I'm jealous of you, Pilper Pup. I want to be better at aligning. I feel like rendering is much more. It's definitely like it's more relaxing for me because then I don't have to like think too hard. Like that seems like something I say a lot. I'm just like, I love drawing because I don't have to think too hard. Okay. Now this is like how I just kind of make things look a little bit finished, somewhat finished, but like really quickly, I guess. Where I just add like cell shading, add darks, and then I add lights. So at the moment, we're just gonna see how this goes. Adding the darks at the moment. It might look a little bit interesting at the like right now, but we'll see how it comes together in a bit. There's something I actually want to try where I think people said that instead of like doing the like little hair in the back like that, like filling it with shadow, but to like keep it light. People say it looks really cute, so I'm just like, I should try that. So I guess you guys are here witnessing my experiments. We'll see if it works. I feel like shadows are a really good chance to add form to your work. like, you know, right here, like even the sleeve, just adding like the little extra line makes it seem like it's thicker. Hopefully Yor will be alright as well. Yeah, I think she should have a little bit of muscles. If I was rendering this, I might have given her a little bit more like defined ones. Personally, not a huge fan of like really stick thin people having like doing all these feats of strength, unless, I don't know, it's like superpowers or something. But that's just like, you know, a personal thing. There's nothing wrong with it, I suppose. I also just like drawing muscles. There's my personal bias. Yeah, like Korra. Like Asami is also pretty like athletic, but it's just like, you know, so she's like a different type of athletic, so they're built different. The clothing part is always a little bit tricky because of all the overlaps. So where is all this stuff supposed to go? Is it a quick lasso eraser? Yeah, I made that one myself, though I'm sure there's like there's probably like a tool for it in the asset store as well. Basically, like I think in this one, yeah, so in like once you go to like just the subtool detail where like this little gear thing is, there's like the blending mode and then there's like erase. And then you'll have to fool around with like the reference this area because this is like basically how it's gonna um like decide like what to erase. Like I can just like show you guys these and then you guys can go back and like take a look, see if you can like copy it. It's just like the regular lasso tool with certain certain settings. But yeah, the one I'm using like at the like to color is a different one though. Okay, let's just try and set this to various modes. This is like my budget rendering where I just add like some soft shading to wherever like shadows might seem the darkest. Just if I want things to be like a little more, just a little, you know, more dimensional. Sometimes I don't have time for this though when I'm doing like when I'm on a time limit. Oh, I mean, it is kind of like I am kind of running out of time, huh? Let's see. Thank you. I like the music too. Do you feel that you're more productive or creative on stream or off stream? Um, I think I would be more productive on stream if I was actually working on things like that I need to do for work. This is like work still. So, but like for my other projects, I think, yeah, I think it would be more productive because then like I actually have people who are like
Make it magical this
keeping
holiday
me.
season at Walmart.
Oh,
Canadians'
that's an
number one
ad.
choice
Haha.
to save on holiday shopping. Check off everything on your list, from gifts to groceries at everyday low.
What was I saying? Right. I think I'd have people holding me accountable for stuff easier if I was on stream. Okay, some quick lighting stuff. Hopefully, basically the same. You can think of hairlines as like, or hair shines, I guess, as like kind of like just the outline of the sphere. And I like to add little pops of color on gold as well, or like shiny metals and things. They always have a really nice pop to them. I usually just add glow dodge or something. And then take my airbrush eraser or something and then erase some of the edges if I feel like it looks okay. And then maybe I'll use like a different color or something for like light for other things. like reflective light, sort of. Rim light, things like that. Personally, I think rim light is always very nice to add. Maybe people overdo it. Whatever. I like it. I think it's pretty. Okay. The stream's about wrapping up now. Thanks for coming, everyone. Hope this was a chill stream. Hope you guys, I see you guys next time. It was really nice meeting you. Really appreciate it when you guys show up. Like, I know it's really early and stuff, or like, at least it is where I am. And I appreciate you guys keeping me company. I will be off for the next week. I don't think it will affect anything, but you know, hopefully everyone's will have a nice Christmas break as well. I didn't draw like the color in the eyes. Ugh. Maybe I'll change some of the colors for the rim light as well. I'll just quickly add something for the eyes. Okay. Alright, I'll see you later, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.